Hello everyone, nice to have you all back for another episode of our 107 channel. Today's menu, economic gauge in your cluster. How does it work? If not, how to repair it? To some it sounds like English sense of humor. Yes, I know, driving in an economic manner. Please see drop down at your left hand side, that needle swaying from black to red when you hit the metal. Say acceleration makes it non-economical. All this is vacuum controlled. The vacuum line is being connected to the air intake, therefore it creates a suction which generates that very vacuum needed. If less suction, therefore less vacuum, therefore the needle sways to economic mode of driving. We are checking the functioning at this 230 Ti wagon of the W123 series from 1984, sitting right behind me. So today's video is about checking functioning of this economic gauge and its vacuum lines, starting right after the introduction. Before we start, here is some basic knowledge. Car is standing still, engine switched off. Please see drop down at your left. Needle is far right in the red, meaning no vacuum. Once we fire up the engine, needle will sway to the left side, meaning vacuum being produced. Had difficulties at first to understand this, thinking that acceleration opens the baffle plate wider to allow more airflow, but there is a throttle underneath and the needle sways to the right hand side. We now need to identify all the lines depending on year of make, size of engine and extras that have been mounted on the production line. You will find all lines, no matter what the purpose is, always on the left hand side under the bonnet close to the firewall. They concentrate all here, heading towards the cabin and the cluster. Also easy to find are these Y-shaped splits of vacuum lines close to the main brake cylinder. Just need to differentiate them by color, provided all lines are still factory. If so, violet, purple, plastic lines were for length of light beam only, and yellow lines were for central locking only. Sort of whitish or sand color due to aging lines meant to be auxiliary lines for the key jetronic, to provide gauges with information from key or key E-jetronic actuators. This is another reason why mechanics hate engineers. Let the fun begin. In the focus, baffle plate and fuel divider. See the purple vacuum line running from the housing of that baffle towards this very control valve, then running towards that split. See that line at the bottom, an auxiliary vacuum line that is. The next split is a triple. This one here goes straight to the passenger cabin. These two cylindrical shaped yellow things are non-return valves. This one here with the purple line is to regulate the length of the light beam. The one below is a vacuum line for your central locking. Easy to spot, it is yellow when clean. Yellow is exclusively for central locking. Connected all relevant lines to my old-fashioned Bosch vacuum testing unit. I'll explain in a minute which lines were connected. Need to remove the air filter housing to reach the relevant components. Over here the two non-return valves as mentioned before, central locking and beam length regulator. Please see picture at the left. Vacuum is produced here. Lines end with control unit next to the light switch, then goes back to the front lights and end in the regulator unit to trigger an alteration of the beam. Quite useful because this is a station wagon. Our economy gauge is right here. Needle on the right hand side because there is no vacuum, not yet. Let us fire her up. See that movement of the throttle linkage behind the baffle plate? This gauge tells me about the vacuum. If I step on the metal, the needle will swing to the right, non-economical driving. Engine being switched off. Needle is in the red. Let me fire her up now. At regular idle, needle is on the left because I produce a vacuum. We have checked functioning of our vacuum line for economic riding. Vacuum controlled. If you do not possess such a fancy vacuum test unit, a generic hand pump will do. Have used that pump at all sorts of occasions, anything related and involved with vacuum. This pump proved to be very useful. Link to that pump is listed in the video description below. Hope you have liked it. Bye bye everyone. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye.